Yeah, can you see my screen, Vijay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, since we have already finished the definite integrals applying all the limits, now we'll go to some of the important properties of the definite integral. Okay. So now, so let's write down the first property. Integrations limit by applying the a to b from a to b f of x dx is equal to a to b f of t dt. So basically what we are doing, we are changing the differentiability integration factor. The variable part we are changing it, x to dx, and then x to t, x dx is changed to t dt. So limits remain the same, so no problem, no change in this part. It can be easily done. Just write on this part, then I'll explain to you what does it mean. Okay. First property, write on a to b f of x dx is equal to a to b f of t dt. Fine. So what we're doing, we're just changing this to t. Example, if I want to have the function, let's write down so that you are clear about it. So what does it mean here? Okay, so it means here simple. Let's say if I if I say, let's say f of x is equal to, let's say x plus 5. Okay. Now this was the integration of a to b f of x dx, correct? No? Yeah. Now you put x is equal to t. Okay. Then differentiate it both. Dx will be equal to dt, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now this remains the same. Now if we just apply the integration method, right? So if we just apply the integration method here, what is that? Yeah, let's say integration method here. So here f of x is dx. So basically you substitute x is t. So this will become what? When substitute x, it will become f of t. X is t you are putting, then it will become equal t plus 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here the integration limit is anyway same, so a here and this is b here, and so you got changed to f of t, correct?
Yeah.
F of t changed. Now dx is changed to dt. So we got the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Clear? When
Yes,
I just change the variable x is equal to t, so everything remains the same. This function f of x being changed to f of t and dx is changed to dt. So it's as good as you can replace anytime, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Clear? First property is clear to you?
Yeah.
Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir. Yeah.
Okay, good. Next. Second property. One moment. You got it? Yeah? Yeah, intelligent. Yeah, correct. Yeah, you can come, no problem. Oh. Oh. Yeah. One moment. Yeah, next property is second property. When you change the limit, okay, when you change the limit a to b, now when you reverse the limit, it becomes b to a, so this sign, minus sign, will come in the picture. Got it?
Yeah.
Because it's as good as when you apply the limit is b minus a. When you change it, it will become the a minus b, isn't it? The negative sign has to come. This is straightforward, isn't it? Because at last you do it, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Any questions, any
Yes,
doubts?
sir. No, sir. Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next. Okay, next property. Let's go to the next property, Vijay. P3, third property. Third property says that when you apply the limit a to b f of x dx, so in between the a and b you have a via, okay, c. So that means there is the version. So here is a, okay. Let's say that you are applying the limit at s. This is a, and this part is b, okay, and in between you have something is c. So as good as you integrate from limits a to c and then c to b, add it. That's what he's doing. X value will range from a to c and then c to b. You are dividing the limits, but integration remains the same thing. So a to b is also can be written as a to c and then c to b. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Any questions? Any doubts?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay. Next part is a very important property. From P3 the important property starts now. A to b f of x is also given as a to b f of a plus b minus x. What does it mean now? Okay. This property is quite important, P3 property. So now third property says that a plus b f of a plus b minus x. Okay, let's understand that part. Let's understand this part. Let's say if I have integration, let's say 0 to pi, okay, and I have something called the sin x. Clear? So this can be also written as good as, understand the application first. This will be also written as, limits will remain the same, 0. Here it will be pi. This will be written as sine. So 0 plus pi, okay, 0 plus pi minus x, okay, dx. It still remains the same. Pi minus x is what? Sin pi minus x is sin x only, no?
Yeah.
Still remains the sin x dx only. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear? So this is second property. This third property. Sometimes they become very useful for your application. So when you are given a limit, so both are same. F of x dx will be given as f of a plus b minus x. That also can be done. So I think the proof they will be giving here. So we'll go to the proof part and then we'll do. Okay, P3 proof. Yeah. P3 proof is there. Yeah, they've given the proof. No problem. So we can just directly apply that proof. Okay. So here x is equal to, we can just put a plus b minus x. Yeah. It's something like this. Where is the P3 property? Yeah. How to get this part? Let's understand this part. Okay. So P3 part, the application part is clear to you. Now proof is, let's go to the proof part. Okay. How do you prove that a plus b is same as this one? So you put, let t is equal to a plus b minus x, because this is what we want. We want this only, no?
Yeah.
So let's put t is equal to a plus b minus x. Got it? Let's try it out this part so that you'll clear. Let's put, you put the, when you put the dt is equal to, see, t, basically you want a plus b minus x, so you put t is equal to a plus b minus x, correct, no? Now differentiate both sides, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you get dt is equal to minus dx, correct? Now you can change the limit right here itself. So when x is equal to a, what will be the value of t? Let's say when x equal to a, then t will be equal to a plus b minus a, which is equal to b, correct?
Yeah.
When x is equal to b, then t will be equal to a. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now substitute it now. So here f of x. So you have x is what? X will be equal to a plus b minus t. From here, see, x will be equal to what? X is equal to t minus, correct, t is equal, right? X is equal to f of x is, x will be equal to here, so x will be equal to a plus b minus t, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because x, you make the x as subject here, right? Here you make the x as a subject, so it will become a plus b minus t, isn't it? Now we'll apply
Yes,
the
sir.
limits. Can we apply the limits now? So t value is what? When the x is equal to a, t is b, right? So this becomes a b, and this becomes a, isn't it? And this becomes a f of x is replaces a plus b minus t, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And dt is equal, dx is minus dt, so here it is minus dt, correct? So now it's a minus, so basically this minus sign comes here, isn't it? Now minus sign comes here, you reverse the limits, so it will become a to b, then minus will get cancelled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Minus will get cancelled, and then you can change the t to x, just the first property.
Okay.
So you will get the, see, you reverse the limits, so it will become minus. So minus into minus will become plus, correct? So that's what you will get this part by applying the property.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
After that is nothing. T is getting replaced with x, because that's what we discussed in the first property, t0 property, isn't it? And then you can, same as we get this value, is as good as saying a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So this is the from third property, which is quite important. We will be using this property now. Okay. Let's go to the fourth property now. Fourth property says 0 to f of x dx is equal to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. This P4 is particular case of the P3. Here the same thing. So P3 property only, because basically a part is 0 here and b part is a. So a plus 0 is a only, so it's pretty much the same thing. Correct?
Yeah.
Because property number third only. So you just, the lower limit is put 0, and then finally it's the same thing. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go to the fifth property, which is quite important now. 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x. Okay. Now this property is quite important, because fifth property, let's go to the proof of the fifth property. Fine. See, 0 to 2a. See, whenever the limits is basically, double, and you want to reduce to half, you can actually do that. 0 to a, 0 to a. See, if it is 0 to 2 pi something, then you can make it to 0 to pi only.
Okay.
Provided 2 pi minus
Yeah.
x, you can do that way also. Example, fifth property. Let's understand fifth proof. Okay. 2a minus x. So same proof is 2a. So we'll put x t as 2a minus x. T is equal to 2a minus x, second integral. So what you'll get, dt is equal to minus dx, and then you substitute the value x equal to, so you will find that 0 to 2a can be represented as minus a, anyway negative will come, a to 0 is f of 2a minus t dt. Correct, no?
Yeah.
You substitute this part, nothing else. You just substitute the t is equal to 2a minus, just like how we did for the previous one. dt will be minus dx, so the limit gets changed. So minus, you convert again, change the limit a to 0 to a, it will become minus will get changed, right?
Yes, sir.
Minus will get changed, and then it will become plus, and 0 to a f of 2a minus t dt, correct? Now this can be also written as t can be easily changed to x, that is fine, right? Now what we get now here, see, this is 0 to a, not this part, f of 2a minus s, so it becomes f of 2x, okay? So and then hence 0 to a can be written as 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Okay, where is that? We got it now here. T is okay. Oh, finally we got 2a minus x. So we got 2a minus x, f of 2a minus x, right? F of 2a minus x is nothing but the 2a minus x dx. So entire thing can be written as 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x. So where is 2a minus x come from here? 0 to a f of x we did hit here. 2a minus a, okay. This we got it equated to 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So 0 to a, where is this come from here? 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x. Oh yeah, okay. See, a to 0, no, fine. Okay, no, not problem. See, we represent like this, Vijay. So it's 0 to 2a, no? So we'll change that 2a to 0 to a and a to 2a. We change this limit. 0 to a, then a to 2a. This is fine, no? Then we solve this part. When we solve this part, it came out as a f of 2a minus x. Got it, no?
Yes, sir.
So basically 0 to 2a is we change to 0 to a and then a to 2a via. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear? And then this property comes out this part. So basically we can just equate directly 0 to a plus 0 to a 2a minus x. So this is the fifth property. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, next property. This part you have to write down because we'll be using quite often this property and this property. This last 5, 6, 7 property is only useful for us. Next, so even function, odd function now. 0 to a f of x dx to 0 to a f of x dx if the 2a minus x is f of. Is this a replication of this property only? If 2a minus x, f of 2a minus x is same as f of x, then it will become twice of this integration, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, if f of 2a minus x is same as f of x, then we can write it like this. You know, let's go with the example so that it will be clear to you. Okay. If I give you the example, then it will make more sense to you. So, yeah, what I'll do is let's see. I put f of x, Vijay. F of x is equal to, let's say, cos x. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, the integration I'll do 0 to 2 pi. Is it okay? 0 to 2 pi. Okay? And this is cos x. Clear? So this can be written as, Vijay, 0 to pi. See, 2 pi is there, no? So I can write it as pi, is it? Now this can be written in cos x dx plus integration of what? Integration of 0 to pi. 0 to pi cos x cos, this will be 2a minus x, so it will become 2 pi minus x, isn't it? Dx. What is cos 2 pi minus x? Is cos x only, right? Cos 2 pi minus x is cos x only.
Yeah.
So entire this can be written as, this will be written as what? 2 twice of 0 to pi cos x dx. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yeah.
Understood. So whenever we want the limits to be reduced, we can apply this formula, right?
Okay.
Now this cos 2 pi minus x is called the, is f of x is basically the even function. Finally, what you get, f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's even function. Same sign, no change in the sign. If it is odd function, then f of x if is equal to negative of f of 2a minus x.
Okay.
Then this will become 0. Correct?
Yeah.
Then it will become minus f of x, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So f of x minus f of x will become 0. Correct? This sign will become minus sign. And then the entire integration will become 0. So you don't have to solve it also. You can directly write answer is 0. Did you
Okay,
understand?
sir.
For the odd function, the answer is 0. Clear?
Clear.
Excellent. Now let's go to the seventh property. So 0 to 2a is clear to you, right? 0 to 2a is no problem,
Yeah.
clear? Excellent. 0 to 2a is clear to you, absolutely correct, no problem. Now let's go to the next property, Vijay. F of x dx. So property number 7 says minus a2 plus a f of x dx. 2 is 0 to a f of x dx if f is an even function. And therefore minus x is equal to f of x, and therefore same. This is also pretty much similar to this kind of function only. So but here the limit is only a little different. Minus a to a. That means minus pi to pi, like that. No, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So you can directly write 0 to pi by 2 if it is the even function. Directly you need to test only this part. F of minus x should be equal to f of x. Example.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So if it is even function, then directly you can put 0 to a to a, isn't it? You can just write down 0 to a. You can reduce the the limit, half of the limit. 0 to a f of x dx. If it is odd function, directly answer is 0. This
Okay, sir.
based on this condition. If negative x is same minus f of x, then it's 0. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next part now. Yeah, let's go to the this part is fine, so you don't have to do that part. Okay, let's go to the example number 30, Vijay. Okay, this is a straightforward, it's not straightforward, but basically we need to do the absolute value of it. So here we need to change the integration part. So here is not based on, this is not based on your any property rule, but here just we need to apply the the absolute rule here. Because absolute value x square minus x has to be greater than 0. Then only absolutes are right.
Okay.
So we need to change, we need to check the limits basically. Because we need to apply the limit from minus 1 to 2. In between that, or in between that, this entire absolute value of x cube minus x should give you the positive value. Right?
Okay.
So the method is that we need to find the limits in which this is negative. Because if this term is negative, then you have to multiply with minus 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is what you need to check. So x cube, since we have not done this part, let me just tell you how exactly to do this kind of question. Whenever the absolute value comes in, how to solve these kind of questions, let's try to understand, okay?
Yes, sir.
Since you have not done this part, absolute value, okay? So absolute value is this means x cube minus x, so you have to be, this has to be greater than 0, correct? So let's put down x cube minus x, let's say this has to be, entire term has to be greater than or equal to 0. So what will be the values of x now? Greater than equal to 0, okay?
Yeah.
Now what it will be, x you take common, it will become x square minus 1 greater than equal to 0, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you get three terms, Vijay. Look at this part. X into x minus 1 into x plus 1 greater than equal to 0, correct?
Yeah.
Now you have three things now. One is, what are the limits value you have? X is 0, x is 1, x is minus 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
That means in order to, when you want to make it greater than 0, now you have three things. Now you need to apply the property, not property, basically you have the limits is from minus 1 to 2. Got it? So you have the limit from minus 1 to 2. Let's understand this part. How we have to do that? I'll explain to you. Minus 1,
Okay.
0, 1, then you get a 2. Isn't it? Now we need to check this value in this. Okay, sorry. We need to check in this part, Vijay. Let's say this is minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay. So x value range from minus 1 to 2. Fine. Okay. So x value is here.
Okay.
So when the x is between minus 1 to 0, you check whether this entire thing will be positive or not. Let's say x is minus, what is between minus 1 to 0? Let's say minus 0.5. So is minus 0.5, minus 0.5. This will be negative. This is negative. Negative, negative. Let's say. So this is negative. Negative. X minus 1 is that minus 0.5 minus 1. Again negative. Minus 0.5 plus 1 is positive. So the entire term will be positive, right? Minus negative, negative is positive, positive. So between minus 1 to 0 it's positive.
Yeah.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll check between the 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 is, let's say, I'll check 0.5. So 0.5 is what? X is 0.5, that means x is positive. X minus 1, 0.5 minus, this will become negative. X plus 1, again positive. So product of positive into positive, that will be negative, right?
Yeah.
So between this is a negative term. 0 to 1 is negative. Understood? Getting it or not?
Not really, sir. This one.
Confusing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Let's try to address it properly. See, you have the limit from minus 1 to 2, correct? And you got x value is 0, 1 and minus 1. Till here is clear to you, because when you solve the equation, so x is when you equate to 0, x is greater than or equal to 0, that means should be 0. X minus 1 is greater than 0, that means x is equal to 1. X plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, that means x is minus 1, correct? Now you have a limit of minus 1 to 2. So you put the range here. Minus 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2. Minus 1 to 2. So I put the range here.
Okay.
Now see, minus 1 to 2, we can do the integration from minus 1 to 0, then 0 to 1, and then 1 to 2. Correct, no? 3 integration we can apply. We can split the limits in 3 integration.
Yeah.
First integration, same function, minus 1 to 0, then 0 to 1, then 1 to 2. Correct, no?
Yeah.
But since it's absolute value, we need to, the result should be positive. All the time this result should be positive, isn't it? So when the x is between minus 1 to 0, we need to check when is this function will result in positive value or not. If it results in positive value, then it's fine for us. We don't have to multiply anything for us.
Okay.
So when the x value is between minus 1 to 0, we want to check whether this function x into x minus 1 into x plus 1 is getting you the positive value or not. How to check? Take any value between minus 1 to 0, which is in between. What can be value? Minus 0.8, minus 0.2, Because minus 1 to 0 is some negative value, no? It should be more than minus 1, less than 0.
Yeah.
So I am taking for the easier purpose, I am just taking minus 0.5 as the number between the minus 1 and 0. Got it? So
Yeah.
when I take the, let's remove this part, okay, from here. Now I'll put the between minus 1 and 0. So first, case number 1, case first, when the x value is from, x value is minus 1 greater than x greater than 0, less than 0, correct? This case, put x as, what we can put the x as, put x is equal to minus 0.5. Is it okay? Now x into x minus 1, x plus 1. So first term, this is minus 0.5. So this is negative. We don't have to solve it. We just have to check the sign only. This is negative.
Yeah.
Then x minus 1. Put x as minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 minus 1. Again it's negative.
Yeah.
Then minus 0.5 plus 1. It's positive. Because 1 minus 0.5 is positive only, no?
Yes, sir.
So negative into negative is what? Positive. Positive into positive? So
Positive.
total answer is positive only, right?
Yeah.
So between this minus 1 to 0 range, you got the entire this expression. Entire this expression is positive. Correct? Entire this expression is positive. That means this expression is positive. So you can write as it is. Correct?
Okay.
Next case. Case number 2. Let's do the case number 2. Okay. So we'll remove this part. Oh, sorry. We'll remove this part from here so that we get clear to you. Okay. Now, case number 2. Case 2. Now, when x value is between the 0 to 1, right? 0 is less than x less than 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
Take x is equal to 0.5 now. Positive 0.5. Correct, no? Because between 0 to 1 what? 0.5 positive only. Now substitute in this one, x into x minus 1 into x plus 1. So 0.5 is positive into x minus 1, 0.5 minus 1. Negative.
Yes, sir.
And then 1 plus 0.5, again positive. So positive into negative into positive, that will give you what? Negative only. Correct?
Yeah.
So that's why we put here negative. Between 0 to 1, this function is negative.
Okay.
Now between 1 and 2 we need to check. Case 3. Case 3 is 1 is less than x less than 2, correct? Take x as 1.5. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
So 1.5 x, so the first value is anyway positive. 1.5 minus 1 is again positive. Correct? So 1.5 plus 1 again is positive. So positive multiply positive, positive, positive. So it will give you positive only, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this between 1 to 2 limits, this function is again positive. Understood or not? Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
See, only we need to check for the negative value. This, why we have to check for the negative? Because this, when you open this, absolute sign, we have to multiply with this entire with minus. Then it will become, this function will become positive, right? Now.
Yeah.
So here we have to write like this. 3 limits. Correct? First limit is minus 1 to 0. Minus 1 to
0.
0. Any function was positive, so you can directly as it is you can go, because absolute functions you don't need to change the sign, so it becomes x cube minus x, isn't it? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you have changed the sign here, it's 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Correct? Now here this is negative. So we need to put here minus. We have to multiply with minus here to make it positive.
Okay.
Understood, no? Clear?
Yes, sir.
And then again from 1 to 2. 1 to 2 anyway positive, so no change in the sign, so it will be remain the same only. So it will become the x cube minus x, isn't it?
Yeah.
Understood, Vijay? Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
This is how you have to solve this part.
Okay.
And then it becomes easier now. See, absolute sign we have removed it now. Now this we have to solve it. Normal.
Yeah.
Just normal integration. Any questions, any doubt, Vijay?
No, sir. Yeah.
Clear? Okay. Try it out now. Try the example 30 by yourself now. Let's see how do you do that. If you get doubt, you can let me know, then I can clarify for you. This I'll just send it to you.